Welcome to Sports Scope, the most influential sports talk show in the nation.
What is today, the 19th?
Stay tuned for updates and great sports content.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Scope. I'm your host, Robert Butler. On this first day of December, we got championship games this weekend and the college game. Going to go over last week's games with Carlos Mad New Yorker Chavez with a quick recap, and then we'll talk about this week's biggest games coming up. One actually coming up right now. I don't know why they would put it on Friday night, but they did. We'll go ahead and take our first and only break, and we'll be back here in 49 seconds and hit the ground running here on Sports Scope. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to sports, that is sports with an S, another S, scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. All righty then, the backstage, Carlos Mad New Yorker Chavez. How you doing, man?
Yo, happy Friday. Happy 1st of December, yo. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's always a good blast having you here. Let's see, where do we start at? Okay, you know what? Let's start with last week. It was the biggest game last week, Buffalo, Philadelphia. You know, I thought that I thought maybe Buffalo may have had it. We both asked. We both had the Eagles pulling this thing off because I just thought Buffalo's defense would find a way to screw things up. And sure enough, that's what they did. Didn't see that kind of heavy scoring, though. I mean, it was a really high-scoring game. Josh Allen, both Jalen Hurts played great, especially in the rain like that. What's your thoughts on that game, man, and going forward?
I mean, if they would have gave the ball off, if those 81 yards were split up between those other two running backs, that game would have been done and over with for the Eagles. Josh Allen running the ball for 81 yards takes away from the time.
9 carries, yeah.
So, you know, I would have rather given those yards to a running back, give your team an opportunity to rest the defense a little bit. You can see they're running out of gas because they're not that deep anyways. It's just terrible management, man. Terrible management, terrible clock management. They gave the Eagles opportunity to come back, and then once they were in overtime, you know how you not spy on a running quarterback. You know, like
everybody knows that Hurts is going to get the ball, man.
Like, you know, like, so at least spy him, right? Like, have one guy on him, but it is what it is, man. It's the Bills that always find a way to you know, get themselves out of a game. So,
do you think McDermott survives this year?
Well, I've said it before, and I'm actually going on the conservative side of this, and I'll say yes because he's a winning coach. Outside of you know, this year, he's has the opportunity to have winning seasons and things like that. And Buffalo's, you know, they're getting a new stadium. They're, you know, they're going to get rid of a lot of players. So if they get rid of a coach, they'd have to get rid of a whole coaching staff. And I don't think they're ready to turn over that quickly yet. So they don't have the money either. So I don't think they'll fire him.
You don't think they got the money?
No, I don't. I think they won't fire him. And it's just the way they do things up there, right? They're slow to move on from their coaches and you know, but if the opportunity is there and somebody wants to be there, somebody wants to, you know, be a Buffalo, say they want to be a coach and the opportunity, he might, you know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. McDermott would probably resign before he get fired.
Yeah, I think they'll move on. I think they'll go offensive. I don't know where they'll go.
That's not the mentality. You know, they don't. They don't like to make new T-shirts, man. They've been making the same shirt and jersey for the last 60 years, man. Just that's not their cup of tea, man. You know, so
yeah. Well, I thought they could have moved off of him last year. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, they got rid of one coach, and they're like the whole half state of New York almost about choked on the buffalo wing. Like, you know, it's just not how they do. It's just not how they do things, man. So I feel like if they'll move on from him, it won't be this year; it'll be next year.
Yeah. Not to go backwards here. I don't know why college football is putting this game on Friday night, but Oregon's going to be playing Washington only tonight here in about 15 minutes or so, maybe about 10 minutes. What's your thoughts on that? Oregon's they're like a 9.5-point favorite at a neutral site.
I mean, you really going to give them all those points from a team that beat you the first time?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, it was at home. I think Oregon will probably find a way. They do have a better running game, but I really like this Penix kid, man.
I think Penix and the way that they play, they don't quit. It got onto Oregon because Oregon's one of those people, they start scoring on you and they just kind of slowly stop scoring. I don't know why, but they do that. And
I mean, we won't count this game because I didn't put it in there, but because I thought it was on Friday night. And I was thinking, well, it'd be going on while we're doing the show, but I just get your thoughts on it real quick.
I think Washington will just sweep it all. I think they'll just go and be undefeated. They got just something.
You think Washington will beat them?
Yeah, just something about them, man. They got perseverance, man, and that goes a lot more than just having speed and being able to score whenever you want at will. Because like I said, they score at will, but then there's times where they kind of like will stop and slow down.
Yeah,
and you can't. I mean, why would you do that? And they'll give Washington an opportunity to stay in the game, and that's where they're going to lose it.
I like that. I mean, we could count it, but I wouldn't want to count this game because of the way it's set up. But
and I think to give them just a neutral site, I think that bodes better for Washington than it does for Oregon, actually.
Okay.
Oregon fans, they travel okay up and down the West Coast. But
I don't think they've won a big road game in a long. I don't think they've won one under Dan Lanning.
No, they haven't won a huge one since like Marcus Mariota.
Cristobal, they won a road. Remember they beat Ohio State about 2 years ago, maybe 3.
Herbert.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I wouldn't Herbert. It was one of these other guys. I can't remember the quarterback, but it was Cristobal was the coach at Oregon. They beat Ohio State out of Ohio State. I think Oregon will probably win in a neutral site. I don't know if they'll win by that margin, though, but it'll be an interesting game. I'm recording it while we're watching, while we're doing a program, And Oregon, I don't know, Chad. Oregon may find a way. If Washington loses, they're out. If Oregon wins, they're in. Of course, if Oregon loses, I mean, they got 2. There's no question that'll be done. 2 losses, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting game. Just not a fan. They could have slid this game in on Saturday. I'm just kind of annoyed by that. So, anyways, getting back to last week, I got a little bit out of order, man.
No, it's all right. You're just hating on the Pac-12. It's the last year, man. Let them do what they want.
Pac-12 doesn't want to compete with the other conferences.
Exactly.
Yeah. There is no Pac-12. Ask Carlos Pac. Okay. What are your thoughts on Jacksonville, Houston? This is the game where now I'm leading 1-0.
Yeah, man.
Jacksonville. I thought Jacksonville Houston did a good job against the run, but
those last 2 sacks
made more plays. Go ahead.
Those last 2 sacks just took him 10 feet away further than he needed to be for that kick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's a great game, though, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a slide. What did I say? I told people.
It was back and forth. That's why I brought it up,
I felt like people would listen to me because that felt like a Super Bowl playoff game, man. It felt nice. It was good to see Houston team crowd that arena, back up their guys, back up Stroud. Keep doing it. Ryans is a good coach. They got an opportunity to, man, they got an opportunity to be better than the Jags, to be honest with you. And the reason is because Peterson is just, I keep telling you guys, he's just too passive aggressive. He's too, hoity-toity. We're gonna play like 1980s football. Like that's not good. It's not good for Lawrence, because Lawrence is one of those guys that, coming from Clemson and just let's full throttle and keep scoring. And he got a coach there that's too pragmatic, man. Just too,
yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm not saying he's a terrible coach. I'm just saying his coaching style is a reason why he got caught up in all that mess in Eagles land in Philadelphia. They're like, yo, this guy needs to like show some cojones. He needs to, push.
Well, his thing is he had an issue with the
owner.
Yeah, with the owner micromanaging him and stuff.
Yeah. So, but I want to see these guys like Mike McCarthy and I don't know, man. I'm just like,
yeah,
you got the team to just step on people's neck.
Wasn't Frank Wright if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he the offensive coordinator with the Eagles under Peterson when they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he was.
Back in 2017?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But Frank Wright was...
And if Frank Wright gets fired, so you just wonder, maybe Wright's just coordinator material, and maybe Doug Peterson is a pretty decent coach, man.
How about this? Frank Wright hasn't been given the best opportunity with the quality team to coach. He's been put in situations where they're like, try to get us out of the cellar, bro, because we got, he got crazy ownership in the Colts. He got crazy ownership
in Panthers,
the Panthers. So he a magnet to craziness, and he just needs maybe he should just be a coordinator and just, not deal with the craziness on that end. But like, the NFL deserves better, though. These fans and these locations, they deserve better. You can't be having this guy getting a new coach like a new pair of underwear every year.
He's going to learn the hard way, Tepper, with Carolina. That you're going to have to be patient and get the right management people around, player personnel, and not be. He seems like he does stuff very knee jerk. It seems like he hired Frank Wright really quick. Fire slow, fire quickly. He hired quickly, fired quickly.
You know what he reminds me of? This is like the holiday season, right? This is like the one dad who's never around and just throws money at the kids. Merry Christmas, and then we'll be happy with your gift. And then the kid turns around, he could care too less about the Christmas gift, even though it's a brand new PlayStation. And
right.
And he's like, "Oh, what do you want?" And he's like, "Bro, I just spend some time together, man."
Hang out.
Everything I tell you I need. It has nothing. It has no monetary value, and you're just like, just throw money at it. It's like
he gave Matt Rule a ton of money, man, like a $70-something million contract. Right. Matt Rule, who's now with Nebraska.
Like, and here's the thing, like, and I talked about it with Keith this morning. It's like, if you compare him to Kroenke, Kroenke's throwing money, and he got players, and he's getting championships in every single sport.
He seems a little bit more smart money, Kroenke, with the Rams owner.
He's throwing money, but the people who he throwing money at they micromanaging that, and he's not like on top of it, and like he's not giving you $50 and asking you, hey, did you spend all those $50? What store did you go to? How much you got left? Why didn't you get a T-shirt and jeans and save your money? He ain't behind you like that. So plus he understands business. Like, you got to understand sports business. You can understand all kinds of business, restaurant business. Like I said this before, there's all kinds of businesses out there, but they don't all run the same. There might be some foundation about them, but they ain't all the same, man. So and then this guy just keep throwing money at the big machine that he gonna win. Come on, man. That's not how that works.
How much money is owed to Frank Wright? I mean, doesn't Irsay still owe him some money? And now this guy owes him some money. Now he says he's kind of done with the NFL. I don't know.
How do we get these jobs and people just still keep owing us money and we're just gonna be all right?
Yeah. I hear you. But so I actually think Peterson's done a pretty good job there with Jacksonville. Going back to that game, not getting too far off topic. Lawrence is getting better. They're still somewhat building. You can tell that they're close with Jacksonville, but they're not quite there defensively.
It's the coach. He doesn't put his team out there long enough for his defense to rest. He doesn't use the tools that he has there. Man, he'll wait for the third or fourth quarter. I don't know if it's just him or somebody's waiting for and just throw the ball to Kirk like 6-7 times. First down, and then all of a sudden you're up at the in the red zone, and like the guy's been on the field for the whole game. Like, use him, I don't know. They got to figure something out, because how many more tools do you want to give Lawrence?
I think he's okay with Ingram and Kirk, and now Calvin Ridley having a pretty good season there. They're pretty. I like Josh Allen too. They're the edge rusher. I told you he's going to have a good game, and he played well.
Yeah, I feel like their team is well balanced enough. They might need a thumper, like a big play defensive guy, linebacker.
Well, they still need help at corner. You could see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I had Tank Dell last week in fantasy, and he came out pretty well for me.
Yeah, like they just need a guy out there who is like going to get the random interception, going to get that random sack. Just he don't have to be $1 million player, but they just need some like a Palomalu kind of guy. Just a guy who's all over it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true, brother. That's true. Okay, New Orleans, Atlanta. I'll tell you, I'm so out on Derek Carr. You heard my rant earlier this week. Dennis Allen, I'm out on him. They need to blow that team up. They've been putting that off for years. Mickey Loomis, he needs to blow that team up. They got a big game this week against Detroit. Atlanta is just, man, somebody's got to win that god-awful division. What's your thoughts about Falcons and Saints last week?
What a snooze fest. I was hoping that
it was, wasn't it?
I was hoping that Louisiana will throw a Mardi Gras onside the field or something on halftime just to wake up the people that was there. I mean, what's going on? Like, other another team that on paper they're semi-balanced. They got a lot of skilled players in different positions. They can't put it together. I don't think it's the culture and the coaching anymore. I just think it's like it's everything. It's even management and ownership, and it's like you can't. They should have just went, like you said before on another show. It's like you let Peyton go, but you kept all his, you kept all his perfume and cologne and all his clothes.
I said that in so many words.
Yeah, like
Dennis Allen is good as a coordinator. He looked good. He shut down Brady, but he's not head coaching material. I could already see it. Second year, he's just not head coaching material.
Like, you dumped the girl, but you still want to be with her. Like,
right. You're right, man. You got to do away with all the clones. You get another coach. Go out and get John Gruden. He's been hanging around.
That's a
start over.
I think right now he's on the hot seat with the commish because he's getting paid so much.
Well, I think Gruden could still. I think he's suing the league, kind of like Brian Flores. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They can both come back and play, our coach if they want to. And Flores is doing really well with Minnesota. I mean, they lost last week, but that wasn't his fault. That was our guy Dobbs had a rough game.
If I'm Tampa Bay, I might go that route. You don't fire what's his name yet. And just go get Gruden as a
bring him back.
No, bring him
back. They've already fired him once back in the day.
Just bring him back as a consultant,
Yeah.
He loves being in Florida, so make him comfortable, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. Any thoughts on Cleveland? Denver found a way to run on that Cleveland defense.
Woo! Denver's hot right now, man. That's a scary team.
That's a pretty scary team, Now Cleveland, we'll talk about that later, but Joe Flacco's going to be playing for Cleveland now.
You got a Super Bowl winning coach. You got a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
That's true.
You got a young defense. You better be careful. You cannot say just because they got beat by Miami 70 points that you're going to be able to put 70 on them, because that's not the same Broncos team. And I like what the coach is doing, allowing the defense to bend, not break. I like that Russell Wilson gave up his, his cape and is using it as a carpet. Like you got to be.
He's acting like a normal teammate.
Yeah,
and he's running the ball more. Yeah. They're running the ball more with attempts.
And I'm not
surprised they moved it like that on Cleveland, but Cleveland's really banged up, man.
And they took advantage, right? And here's another thing, like, I like that even Peyton stepped in and was like, "Yo, Russ, I know we can make this probably first down, but let's just kick the field goal and take the points."
Yeah,
like him being conservative when he should be conservative. Like he's one of those guys that's always trying to be risky, but he's been doing. They've been getting the points, and it's been working in their favor.
He's been holding back really well.
Yeah, man.
Because he didn't like to do that in New Orleans.
No. And
they were always going for it on fourth down.
Yeah, and I'm a Russell Wilson fan. I'm not gonna hide it and deny it. And he's dangerous, but what I like is that he's playing with what he has because he ain't who he was. And that takes a lot of maturity and that takes a lot of perspective to understand, like, I can do this, but I can't do that, So I like that he's making these young players play. Man, he got 2 wide receivers that are phenomenal, bro. Like
Judy and Sutton.
Yeah, man. Like woof. Like I'm telling you, this team is,
and they don't really go deep. They take very few deep shots.
Right. But they can.
He's shortening everything up on Wilson.
They could get the ball, bro. Like they could, like he don't have to be super accurate. Like they're go-getters, And then the yak yards.
It's great, and that's good blocking upfield. Good stuff there, man. Okay, Cincinnati Pittsburgh finally has a good passing game with the new coordinator, Matt Canada fired. I think this guy, Joe Brady's taken over. Pretty good game there. They finally got 400 yards of total offense there. Our guy, Kenny Pickett, Freiermuth had him on fantasy too. He had 100-something yards receiving. Yeah, do you think this thing lasts with Pittsburgh? Do you think maybe it was just a fluke one game?
No, they had the talent. They were just not like just like a Peterson type of deal. They just wasn't pushing the gas pedal. They were like, and it's not a Tomlin thing because Tomlin's not the offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah.
And then the thing is, like, do you trust your quarterback or do you not trust your quarterback? And Canada was just like, let's just try to run the ball sideways. No, man, move the ball, go forward. Like,
he did do that a lot.
Yeah, so I like that Najee Harris and Warren got the yard.
Yeah.
I like that Pickett was trying to throw the ball down the field. He needs to be a little bit more conservative in a way that is positive. Not just don't hold on to a ball, but like if you got a space, you can run the 2 to 3 yards, or you could throw the ball out of bounds. And I think he's just right now wanting to just get the ball out to Pickett's, right?
Yeah.
Pickens?
Yeah, him and Freiermuth is had a huge
yeah. So Freiermuth has been a great little blanket for him, his security blanket. That's good. So they're gonna be okay. They're gonna keep getting better.
You hope they run with it against Arizona,
That's another thing too. If you give your team the ball to run it, your defense gets to rest, and your defense can do positive things for you. Like TJ Watt can do more if he had more rest. Like, and that game you saw him. He did big things, but he was TJ Watt the whole game. He wasn't just TJ Watt like in the first and second quarter.
Yeah.
So and that's important for the defense. Get a little bit of rest, and you can last a little longer.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they play this week. 2 games into that. Well, they got Michael Fitzpatrick back, a big time safety.
That's going to help them a lot, bro.
Yeah, that should help them play well, and you hope they don't play down to their competition. But I'm going to hammer Tomlin if Arizona beats them tomorrow or Sunday.
I never felt like they were playing down to a competition. I felt like they were playing down to to try to win it at the end.
That's very Jeff Fisher. Remember that?
Yeah. Like Jeff Fisher. Yeah, like let's just.
I always see that as playing down, though.
No, you
do that with Baltimore and big teams,
I mean, because that's what Peterson does too. Going back to that. No, but it's like you have a team like then the precipice of just getting the shooter out of a rocket, right? And they're ready. Everybody's hype, and you're like, bring it down. We save it for the fourth quarter. It's like, nah, man. Nah, let them.
Chad thinks they play now.
Rainbow
You
plays
can
now. I
make that
think-
argument, Chad, with a lot of defensive coaches.
Yeah, that's a defensive minded thing. Like, it's okay. We can, we'll get there. We'll get there. Like, no, we should have been
James
there.
Conner, yeah, he did used to play for Pittsburgh. That's right, Pickles. That might be a good little tidbit for fantasy.
Connor's coming back, but Connor's been up and down all year. That O-line doesn't give him any help.
That's true.
He's not that Terminator killer Connor that we want to see yet.
It should be all Pittsburgh, but
Right.
we know, I'm telling you, Pitt plays down to I didn't put this in their thing, but they have a tendency to do that.
Yeah, but with this team, Kyler Murray's going to be running for his life because they have no O-line. So,
Yeah, well, they got a decent left tackle, not unless he's hurt again.
yeah, but what are you going to run on one side of the field the whole day? Like
Yeah.
that doesn't work.
It should all favor Pittsburgh at home.
Yeah, and then-
early start time. Yeah.
And if you got Mika Fitzpatrick, forget it. You just balanced out that defense, everywhere. So
Yeah. I thought so too. Okay, man. Got to talk about Ohio State, Michigan last week. We both
we
held
call it
it.
or not. We call it or not.
We were very close in the score there. Very
Mhm.
close. Yeah. Michigan, that was a tight game. I talked about that with John. Ohio State played a much better game if you look inside the box score, other than the 2 turnovers.
Yeah, and even with the 2 turnovers, I just felt like Dave just didn't take advantage, man. He just he left a lot of the wide receivers aside from Harrison just on the sideline. Like, man, what are you doing? This could be their last
Dave
game.
was playing it towards the end.
He was looking for.
He played it towards the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you don't win games like that, man. You just can't. You shouldn't bank on that. And that passive aggressiveness, man, that come and get you at the end of the day, man.
Yeah.
Michigan
Michigan got one of their linemen hurt in that game, but I think they'll be okay this week, man. I don't know about winning the championship. We'll see.
I mean, that type of football is good for that conference, and then that's all. Like championship running on is like they shouldn't get an opportunity to play in it because it's not. I don't feel like it's competitive, but I don't feel like it's fun football. Like I'd rather watch the Pac-12 versus the SEC this year because they were playing better. Like as a whole. And then
the quarterback play was better than the Pac-12.
Yeah, and then the ACC.
This game's going to be great tonight, but I don't like watching these Friday night games. I'm just kind of out of it.
Other things to do Friday night.
I'm going to watch it, though. I've got it recorded, that Washington Oregon game. The one in the regular season was great, though, wasn't it?
The VCR on top of the.
I got DVR. No, I ain't got the old DCR, man. Those things are hard to record and pre-set up and everything.
You got the timer all set on that.
You got the timer. You got to do all that crap, Hey, man, I didn't put this on from last week. What's your thought about that last-minute throw by Alabama?
What?
Auburn?
I was watching the game. I was like, what are they doing? How are they letting Auburn take over this game? Auburn fans were screaming and taking the shirt off. And I was like,
they had it won, didn't they?
This game's over, right?
Yeah.
No, it was not over. It was not. And you see these fans stunned. Like the commentators didn't know what was going on. Was he in? Was he out? The ball was thrown. Like
I was almost for certain they were going to call this guy out. Why did Auburn leave him that open?
Well, man, this is. And
I thought it would be like a whole lot of people in the end zone. It was one play,
I don't think there was one Alabama fan there in that stadium that thought that Alabama was going to win that game.
No, it's 4th and 31.
It stunned everybody. See, that's the kind of stuff I want to see for championship football games.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this during the regular season, bro? Like, that's why I don't want to watch.
It's crazy the way Auburn has played Alabama at Auburn the last 4 or 5 times,
And we not, might be a little bit of SEC elitists, maybe, or whatever they want to call it. But, and I'm not an Alabama fan. I'm not at all,
I admire Saban, though.
But I like football. I like Saban. He's a good coach. I might talk about him like he's my brother, but like, if you had not been given the opportunity to watch that game in its whole entirety, then you missed out. Because if you're just watching the last few minutes, it's great.
I recorded. I did. I watched it this past week.
It just takes the
intense,
win,
man.
It takes the win out of the room, bro. It's just like you just sitting there like, did that just happen? Like, and I'm appreciative that I got that Paramount Plus CBS Sports. Because man, if I would have been blacked out from that,
oh man, I'm glad.
Man,
like, yeah. And, you know something? All week I've analyzed every asset of Georgia and Alabama because I think Alabama. Here's my thing about that quarterback, this Monroe. Nothing phases him.
Nothing. Dude,
most quarterbacks, when you oversnap like that, you're totally psyched out. He throws a touchdown the next play.
You know, he reminds me of before he got hurt was that quarterback for the Vikings, who took over. What's his name?
Culpepper?
Huh?
Culpepper? Dante Culpepper?
No, the other one.
Randall Cunningham.
No, after Ponder, I can't remember his name.
Oh,
the running quarterback.
I don't remember. After Ponder.
Yeah, didn't he play for Louisville?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Bridgewater
got hurt a lot. This guy's way quicker than Bridgewater.
No. What I'm talking about
is calmness.
Yeah. You know, Bridgewater used to go out there like he already won the game. Like he was just like, I'm just looking around.
Gotta get that Sleepy Floyd look, don't it?
Yeah. Like, and it was just like, like, all right.
Kind of like Eli versus Peyton. Eli's cool, man. Peyton's all, oh my God, everybody panic.
Oklahoma, everybody. To the mic. Yeah.
Dang, Peyton, it's a football game. We're not going on a fire drill. Calm down, Peyton. John Elway told him to calm down one time. I got 2 rings. You got 1, Peyton.
I don't know. And I feel like if Bridgewater would have stayed,
he might be a star one of these days, Jalen Monroe.
Yeah, he's got it, man. He's got it.
Yeah.
And he rifled that ball, and I was like, where is he throwing it? He's gonna throw it out like it's a freaking Hail Mary. Nope. He bounced
perfect pass, too.
Perfect pass, man. Perfect.
Yeah.
And I was like shocked. I was like,
yeah,
this is what you want to watch. This is what a championship football game should be like. Right. To the very last minute. Now, I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to sound like messed up, but Alabama shouldn't have been in that situation with Auburn.
No.
Right. So,
Alabama's got big holes in their defense, man.
It's
like they really haven't solved their problems from last year.
You know what they
get at all their box scores?
They got a young defense. They overcommit on the stop running, right? And they overcommit on the back end with their cornerbacks. So because these guys are looking for
if you get them overcommitted, then there's gaps.
Right. And they're looking for that interception. They're looking for a big play. And then if they could just bring it down a little bit, play the game, play the ball. Don't play play the player, forget the ball.
Yeah. I hear you.
But it's great. It was great, man. I'm serious. And you guys want to watch some football on YouTube, the Iron Bowl games in the last, 5, maybe the last 4 or 5.
The ones at Auburn are like nail biters.
Oh, my God.
The last one at Auburn went in 4 overtimes, man.
Yo, and, this is Southern football in the university. And I don't want to come off like it's like.
It just seems more competitive down here.
No, I don't want to sound like it's about color, but I ain't seen so many white faces turn even whiter, bro. I'm sure they could have glowed in the dark. It was like a car crash, bro. It was like.
Oh, there's a lady I go to church with, is a big Auburn fan. She was all just totally disgusted. I said, but ma'am, look, you got Hugh Freeze there. You could tell that he's the right coach. He had some good plays drawn up for that throwing guy. He kind of reminded me of a poor man's Trevor Lawrence, that quarterback for Auburn.
Yeah, no. The Hugh Freeze's biggest problem was that he was laying off of the wide receivers too much. He's playing a prevent with guys that are not used to playing prevent.
Yeah, that's what my dad was saying the other day.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, you can't do that. Not in the last 30 seconds of the game, man.
Yeah, I like that Trey Burton, I think is his name, for Alabama. That's a good risk. He's going to be good on the next level.
Look, not for nothing, but and the problem with Alabama is they keep you in the game, and that's this year they're
hard to blow out, ain't they?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see that in the championship game. You know, I might want to.
Yeah. You know what? Let's transition to that. We'll go a little backwards. What's your thoughts on Georgia tomorrow, man?
Yeah, I feel like Alabama is on the higher, like, you know, because they keep getting better every game.
That's true.
You know, and
in certain spots.
Yeah, and I feel like they're getting confidence. And you got that coach that's telling you guys are all top 5 recruits. Yep. You know, you and Bama, we win championships here. We can win one now. And then they run through the wall for this guy. And I don't know if Georgia this year has the same
moxie,
perseverance.
Yeah.
They lost that quarterback. They lost a lot because that guy was like, I'm not giving up kind of attitude. And I feel like Georgia's missing that this year from some of the games. At the end of the game, even though they've been winning, are they going to have that? And because the coach, he going to say everything he needs to say because he's a saving guy, right? All the saving coaches say the same thing.
29 game winning streak, man. That's impressive.
And you got to lose one.
I keep thinking it's going to be, that was my preseason pick that Alabama would beat Georgia in this game. But, man, I crunched the numbers. It seems like Georgia, the 2 teams that they played, Georgia played Auburn and they played Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee. Alabama had to play comeback on both. Remember Tennessee, they had a 2-score lead on Alabama.
Yeah, the first half, right, yeah.
Yeah, and Alabama had to make the big comeback. Georgia, they got down 7-0, but I think it was like 38-3, difference after the game, 38-10 final score.
I think we can be honest and say that no matter what Georgia does, they have enough depth. So
they got depth for days.
Yeah, so that's going to cover. That's
even without Brock Bowers, they're still playing well.
Right, but what can Alabama do to find that chink in the armor?
I think turnovers, but this defense, they gave up 28 midway through the third quarter against LSU. I know that Jalen Daniels is good.
Yeah.
But I never remember a team that consistently gave up this many points for Alabama, and them still winning. I know they did to Clemson in that championship one year. I know Johnny Manziel had a good game against them, but it's just not consistently, man. I want to pick Alabama, but my heart says that, my head says no. Georgia just, that, like you said, the depth. They just keep finding players. Who are these guys?
And the players are playing and making the.
They're playing like they've been playing there 10 years.
Yeah, it's not the coaching, right? It's not like, hey, this is the design play. No, it's the players coming up.
They just keep coming at you, man. So. I like Georgia as much as my heart says Alabama. I actually think Georgia probably covered at 5.5.
Really? So you're gonna take it?
Yeah. My score, I've got it 29-23. They win their 30th straight. I kind of hope I'm wrong, even though Saban's 4-1 against Kirby Smart. And that last game, Georgia had to come back in the second half, but this Georgia team just feels like they're deeper. Mm-hmm. They don't have the big lapses on defense like Alabama does.
Yeah, but it just takes a big-time player to be too big, Like
I just don't know. Monroe, I got a feeling he's going to try to do too much tomorrow.
You think so?
He may overthrow. He may get too excited. I kind of feel like it may go like that Texas game, and I hope not. I want to see Alabama win. That were my national champion. But
what if they tie the game? Who wins?
I still think Georgia, man. They just seem cool under fire.
Who got the better?
Georgia never seems rattled.
Who got the better kicker?
I haven't looked at the kickers, man. Probably Georgia. Alabama's been missing big kicks this year.
Well,
yeah,
look,
dude.
both of these teams got kids that want to make it to the big show.
I think Monroe next year, I think he'll be ready. He's only a sophomore. You know,
I'll go. I'll risk it. I just like the Iron Bowl win.
You like Alabama?
The last 3 games. I don't like Alabama. I want to see them play football, man.
Yeah.
You know, don't sit
Trust
down.
me, I'd love to see Georgia lose. Trust me.
Don't sit down on these guys and don't think you can't beat them because they're 29-0. How about
If
that?
anything, that should work against Georgia because the pressure's building.
I mean, I don't know if these cats.
Crazy turnovers can help Alabama.
I think this game is going to be like crazy turnovers. To be honest with you.
Yeah. I just don't know if Alabama's got a lot of playmakers on defense. I mean, they got some defensive linemen, but they just ain't got them ballers like they've had in the past. Those linebackers
But I think
in the past.
that makes it better. Like you're not depending on this guy to come through at the game. Not everybody's got to play like a recruit.
You're picking Alabama. What's the score?
I'm saying it's going to be 27-24.
Alabama?
Yeah.
All right. I'll pick Georgia. Now, this one will count.
I'm not scared. I just want to.
Part of me hopes you're right, dude. I'll take the L. Even Pickles thinks that Alabama's going to win.
Oh.
Since 1971, you get those stats: Alabama and Auburn. Saban wants to see what committee does. No SEC. Yeah, I mean, if Alabama wins, I don't care what Florida State does. I think Alabama's getting in there. They beat the number 1 team in the country.
I dislike to say this. Please, people believe it. Because people are like, oh, you're just talking about ACC like they're nothing. But this year they haven't been much. The Big 10 and the Big 12 and ACC peoples, it's only been maybe 4 teams average out of all of them, right?
Right.
So you can't say your schedule this and your schedule. Everybody's schedule was pretty much terrible. Like, and if you're watching the football games,
that's true.
If you're watching the football games, if it's me for what I want to watch football, like for what it is, not for who your mascot is, I want to see the Pac-12 play the SEC. That's just me. Yeah. Like, and if I'm trying to sell because I've worked in the media before, I'm trying to sell commercials.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have the Pac-12 and the SEC.
That's
sorry,
true.
But because I'm not saying that Michigan doesn't deserve a opportunity. I'm not saying Ohio State, if they win, they don't deserve an opportunity. All I'm saying is this: you don't want to have a stinker on national television because it looks bad on your brand. So
FSU, that's a good transition. Louisville, Travis Benjamin's been out.
Right.
Now this Tate Roadmaker, he's got a concussion. He's doubtful. It looks like the guy named Brock Glenn, the freshman's going to play against Louisville. Louisville may have been looking ahead last week. They lost to Kentucky. Yeah. I think Louisville's going to beat them, man, and I really hope so, too.
But here's the thing, too, because that was a litmus test.
Florida State's still favored.
That was a litmus test for Louisville, because Louisville's been doing great, and people ain't talking about them.
Yeah.
And it was a litmus test because they're like, can we play with the SEC team?
Yeah.
But they didn't put it like that. They're like, well, we're going to win because we got the best record in the ACC. Right? They already qualified for the championship
game. They beat Notre Dame. They beat Miami at Miami, I want to say.
So and so they should have used that game better. And that's on their coaching staff, not on the students.
Do you think Florida State with a third string quarterback is going to beat Louisville?
Heck no. No, I don't.
Yeah, I think Louisville's going to beat them too, even though they're underdogs.
And
Brian Braun, man, he's a rising star in the coaching ranks.
Here's the problem, man, because FSU's been on the up, right? They've been trying to get, they've been recruiting better. They've got,
Benjamin saved their butt against Clemson. Me and you was talking about that game earlier this year.
Yeah, so I feel bad saying though. Like I feel bad saying it, to be honest, because I want good football. And on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day,
I do not want. I'm like you. I don't want these crappy games.
Why? why am I starting off the new year being all aggravated by a crappy football team? Like, I'm supposed to be happy.
Some team that's undefeated, but they're going to get killed when they play one of these heavyweights.
And remember, I said to you, and maybe in a year or two we'll do that. When I went to the Music City Bowl, I was like, I'm gonna try to check it out, and it was one of the best games I've ever been to because it was Minnesota. And
sometimes it gets really cold down there, though.
Yeah, you sound like one of them. You sound like you over 50 years old. Talking, oh, it's too cold.
It was that Minnesota game 10 years. That was really cold. That game you're talking about.
But
that was freezing that day. Chief.
I was in the sun. That is an outdoor.
Well, you're from New York. You're originally from New York, ain't you?
Yeah, I know, but I grew up in Germany, so I'm used to being.
It's cold. It's cold there too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, get out of here.
No, but
it would have been fun when it was 41 degrees and windy one day on the Music City Miracle. The Titans play off that river, So
yeah, that wind blows.
It was a fun day, but I had a headache and everything. I think Louisville pulls it off too, man. Okay, let's go to the big leagues for this week. Let's see. Woo, Denver, Houston. We was just talking about Denver and Houston.
Yeah,
Denver's underdogs at Houston, 3.5 points.
Maybe they're trying to give Stroud an opportunity to catch up and make up for his loss. And he might play that. But that defense is really young. And they make a lot of mistakes. For
Denver or Houston?
For Houston, yeah.
Yeah, they do.
They got to play a clean game. Stroud has to. Stroud's going to do. Now I have a confidence. I've been watching him. He's going to do what he does. Is that going to be enough? I don't think so. I think he's still a couple years away with team. He needs. So
you like Denver too? I like Denver myself.
Yeah, I like that. I think Denver's going to win this, and it's going to be close.
Yes,
don't get me wrong. It's going to be close.
Well, Houston's 3.5 point. I was surprised because they've got some defensive injuries too for Houston. And Tank Dell might not play.
Why did you give him the 3 points?
Schultz is out, by the way. They're tight end.
Yeah, why did you give him the points if they got a better kicker too?
Fairbairn's out too. I don't understand what that is about that. Maybe people are still not really looking at Denver on the road as being a good team. They beat Buffalo on the road. That's something.
That kicker is a lucky charm. So, you don't want to win games on having a kicker, but it's good to know you have one that could win.
They got a decent kicker with Denver.
Yeah,
good special teams. I like Denver to win as well. We agree on that. How about this? 24-23.
I was going to say
Denver kicker at the very end.
27-24.
Denver too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was surprised. I thought you was going to jump on that Houston bandwagon.
No. It's not. I've been watching Denver and Houston, and I feel like the NFL cheated those two teams. They should have been flexing them on national TV.
That is true. That's a good game, man.
Yeah. So
that's a really good game. How about Cleveland? Technically, Cleveland and the Rams are really into this thing, numbers wise. The Rams are a game out of a wild card. Cleveland's still in it. They're like 7-4. They're falling apart. They got Flacco playing this week.
Oh my gosh, man.
But Denzel Ward's out. Actually, Cleveland 2 road trips because they just lost to Denver. Now they got to go to LA. I like the Rams 24-19.
I'm stressing out like I have to watch this game, and I don't want to.
Right.
I don't think this is a game.
Don't be surprised if Cleveland don't find a way though with the freaking guy they signed last week. They pulled the Minnesota Vikings and Josh Dobbs and Old Faithful Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco has been regular Joe Schmo since like after he left the Ravens. He ain't really produced.
He ain't been right ever since he won that Super Bowl 10 years ago.
He's still in the Super Bowl parade in his mind. How many times he been hit up too? I'm surprised he came back to get
people
more.
love picking up Joe Flacco. Everybody's delusional.
Bro, he ain't no Vinny Testaverde either. At least Vinny will give you a few games.
That's right. Vinny will come in there 42 years old and give you 1 or 2 good games.
Yeah.
As long as he can find, Wayne Corbett and Curtis Martin in the flat,
Yeah, man. Like this, I feel bad for Flacco, man. I mean, even when he was the Jets, like he didn't even. Maybe he threw the ball twice. He just running the ball. He just statue, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aaron Donald will get to Flacco at least once because he's
I
a
don't
stick
want-
man.
If I'm Flacco, I'll be like thinking twice before this game. Like, why did I do this?
They get a few $1,000 just to, show up.
like that commercial. We should unretire. Like, nah, man, you had your time, and
You don't think Flacco's going to pull it off? And we're talking about another Josh Dobbs 2.0.
the only thing he's gonna pull is his leg, like Aaron Rodgers, bro. That's what he's.
That is true. They're going to be running a Wildcat with Kareem Hunt and Jerome Ford.
If you've had 4 quarterbacks,
Pickle says he's been hit more times than Joe Frazier.
maybe that's why he want to come back. He want to.
Ain't that the truth, Pickles?
I mean,
Yeah.
I hate to say this too, because the guy, he won the Super Bowl. He did good. He has an arm, but ain't nobody.
He's good for the deep ball. He throws a good deep ball.
Ain't nobody seen it since 2007.
Yeah.
And why would you get this?
I like the Rams too, brother. Let's move on. Detroit, New Orleans. 2 guys that come off losses. 2 teams that really let me down and tick me off. They're both still in it though. This is a big game. I don't know. Lattimore's out. It's really hurting that New Orleans secondary. Plus, this guy Marcus May's out. I think Detroit bounces back. Not sure if they win by 4. Well, actually, I think Detroit probably wins 30-23. They get the road win, but this is going to be kind of a crappy game too. But we'll see. I'm totally out on New Orleans now.
Will Olave be back? If Olave's not back, they don't got an opportunity, man.
And he's got a concussion. I don't know if he's going to be back.
Yeah, protocol. So,
well, I thought I read he was a full participant.
I hope so.
I
hope so. He's my fantasy player, but not at that extent. Take a day off, man.
If he plays, if I were you against that shaky secondary of Detroit, I'd play him.
Yeah, I know what.
But you know how Detroit's coach can get in these guys hyped up, man. I like Dan Campbell more than I like. Dan Campbell used to be their tight end coach. So there's a little bit of a connection there.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a game for Detroit. They have to win this game anyway. So
yeah, I think they'll find a way. Marcus May out, nothing on Olave. Chris Olave concussion listed as questionable. I mean, that's all they say. Man, people's lives questionable, I still like Detroit, though. It's still somewhat a big game record-wise. Okay, what do we got next there, Chief Quimby? Of course, the big kahuna here. San Francisco at the Eagles. Fletcher Cox is going to try to play. Dallas Goedert looks like he probably won't play. 2 big games in a row for Philadelphia. The 49ers seem like the healthier team. I think they win and cover. I talked about this yesterday.
Yeah. I don't want to hear excuses. I want to see football players play football. I want to see Purdy, do his thing. And if he doesn't have anybody to do his thing with, he needs to do his own thing. He got no excuses. He coming back from an injury.
They should play really well Sunday.
If they don't this is why I don't like Sirianni now, because what they got to do is make sure that San Francisco stays off the field, and they got to run that ball, and they have to stay consistent with it. They're going to start using Brown up and down the field, Devontae Smith, Hurts, and they're going to forget about the time, and they're going to give San Francisco an opportunity to be in the game. They're not gonna win this game if they do that. So
yeah. What do you got, man? I think it's 27-22 49ers found a way to win.
I flip it. I like the Eagles because the 49ers talk so much trash. They haven't been able to cover it since 1992. Let's go.
So you're saying the Eagles, this is in Philadelphia. So you're saying the Eagles going to win again?
Yeah, because Hurts, he don't lose in Philly.
That is true. He's hard. He's a hard guy to kill in Philly.
And Purdy's already been knocked out in Philly. So, and
you think he's going to be nervous because this is where he got hurt last time?
I know. Listen, how about this? And I ain't a Philly fan, man. I dislike Philly with a passion. But y'all need to be East Coast, rise up and smack down on these West Coast slops Every time they lose, it's all because we didn't have this guy and then this guy and this guy. Like, this football, you ain't never gonna be 100% roster.
So you think the Eagles are going to beat Kansas City, Buffalo, and now the 49ers? That would be an impressive run. That'd be impressive.
I want the Eagles to understand that they are one football game away from being undefeated, and they need to play like it. Bro, you got a balanced team. Your defense is good. Your offense is good.
I'm not going to talk you out of it because I like to get that W on you.
Yeah, you ain't going to talk me out of it. I want because
Lane Johnson's got that growing injury. He might not play.
Here's the problem. And if you're the coach, you better rise up and step up and say this. If you can't beat these 49ers at your home, you don't deserve to be in no Super Bowl, no matter what your record says.
Wow.
Because this is football. This is what you do.
It's the game of the week, man. Yeah. You think this is the game of the year so far?
Look, I'm going to tell you this. You Eagle fans better be out there like Houston represented, and even though they lost,
Jamie's going to be there.
Oh, yeah, Jamie Paxton is going to be waving.
He's going to be on the field talking crazy.
He's going to be fly. Hey, look.
Painted face and everything.
I want to see that griminess. I want to see that heavy hitting. Like, I'm a 10-1 team or whatever their record is, and you ain't nothing because you on the West Coast. And y'all play some West Coast teams. That's what I want to see. Like, this is for the NFC. This is like, you got to represent. Like, you got to make sure you tell everybody, show everybody this division is a hard division. That's what I want. That's what I miss from football.
Fourth quarter, it's not going to be rain. I really like 49ers in this. I mean, but the Eagles, they have a way to muck this thing up, and you never know. They have a really good offensive line. The Niners
have a better chance of mucking it up than the Eagles because they traveling. The Eagles are at home, and plus they're going to be playing in cold weather.
Yeah, that's true. Not too cold. I mean, it'll be 50s.
But it's going to be raining and stuff, man.
Yeah, it'll be Philly weather. This will be a great game, man. I think it'll be good. I don't think it'll be as crazy as Buffalo game, but it'll be good, though.
No, but if you ain't hyped for this as an Eagle fan and you like, 49ers, no, man, screw them. Them. Like, this is your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm excited.
So you like the Eagles.
Yeah.
I like the 49ers. You like Alabama. I like Georgia. So that I'm up one. So we'll see how those are the games we differ on. Do you got anything to plug? Are you serious, right?
Yeah, I'm on in the mornings every Friday at 9:00 with Keith Engel. We talk a bunch of sports. I'm here with you on Friday nights. Hey,
8 o'clock Eastern.
Watch the football this week. It's all over. Conference finals. You got a couple games in NFL. So hopefully some of these games end up being better than the procrastinating. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that Seattle game was way better than I thought it would be last night.
What happened, bro? What happened to that?
DK Metcalf, he wanted to play well in Dallas, didn't he?
Whew.
What they do, shoot Geno Smith up or something? He played great last night.
I was like, who is that guy?
I thought Dallas won. They didn't cover, though.
Yeah, they ain't cover. But listen, like, I feel again.
Ask Carlos.
you got that Mike McCarthy offense, and so
Dak's playing good. I don't agree with the national media. I don't think Dak's the MVP. It's probably going to Hurts.
We'll see.
Or
right?
maybe
That's
Lamar.
What I want to see. Like,
so
Prescott just showed everybody that he still
was balling though. He's got to do that against the Eagles next week. That's another thing. The Eagles got to play at Dallas next week, man.
I know. That's why I'm getting excited. That's why I'm like, that's why the Eagles have to win this game.
Well, I don't know
because
you can't go around. If the Eagles do win this game, I don't see how the 49ers can have any confidence if they have to play them again in the playoffs. Playoffs.
I'm telling. That's what I'm saying. This is the best opportunity for the Eagles, and the ball's in their court. They're at home. I don't want to hear nothing from the 49ers, man. They just I don't believe in Purdy, right?
Yeah.
Like McCaffrey they let him run. Let him run, but you got to stop. You got to stop the.
Yeah, Geno did. He messed up that last series, but he had a pretty good game overall. The DK Metcalf. I didn't watch a lot of it. I just seen clips here and there.
Yo, there was more flags on the field than there were fans in the stands.
Man.
So annoying. So annoying.
Well, hey, it's a great night, man. Appreciate you coming on. I
Exactly.
can't wait. We got another really good. You know something? Let me say this. This time next year, Carlos, after these championship games in college, only 2 more weeks, then we hit the 12-team playoff, Chief.
Bro, we got to go
I
down
can't wait.
there. We got to make plans to make a bowl game, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah, you always want to take it to the next level.
We right down the street from the stadium.
That is true. That is true.
I'm
I want
down
a good bowl game. I don't want all these BS games.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, come on, man. You got to get what you can get.
No. I do it big and go home. I'll see you. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a
Thanks,
good night,
Carlos.
guys.
See you, brother.